and welcome back. My name is Brian. In today's video we're going to be talking about a useful tool or jig you can make for your workshop, and that is a shooting board. It's often the case that we want to cut a workpiece to 90 degrees. We can do this on our bench hook here, we could do it on a table saw, and if we want to perfect that, a good thing to do is go over to the shooting board and get it perfectly square. So I'm going to demonstrate here. Our workpiece is already pretty square in this direction, but through the depth, you can see a little bit of light in there. I'm going to move it around a little bit, but it's hard to see that light. But you can see a little light if you hold it up and you look at a little bit of spacing between the square blade and the edge of the workpiece. I'm going to try to improve that with the shooting board. To square up the end, we're going to put this on our shooting board. This is my hardwood stop. So I put this up against that hardwood stop, and then I take my shooting plane. And for a plane, I can either use a specialized shooting plane I have here, but you could also use a different type of plane. Some people use smaller planes all the way down to like a smoothing plane, but I might suggest that you get one that's heavy in weight. So like something like a jack plane. This is a 5.5. I use this sometimes too, but I'm going to use my specific shooting plane. And so we line this up, the edge of our workpiece, with our hardwood stop, and then we put this on our shooting board, and we're simply going to make passes. And you can hear that making it square. Now we see it looks square through the depth of our workpiece. So now I want to explain some of the features of our shooting board. To do that, I first want to highlight the fact that on our hand plane or our bench plane, the blade doesn't go all the way to the corner. And so this means that there's a small distance here that the blade is not cutting. The sole of our plane is just riding along the surface. To accommodate for that, a lot of people put a rabbet along the length of this. Here I've done similar. I have a rabbet that's along the length of this, and I've also chamfered this just a little bit. Another thing that putting a saw kerf along the length here, and this is for sawdust or shavings, small shavings, to have those fall down into the saw kerf instead of those getting built up between your workpiece and your hand plane. Some of the additional features or pieces that were made for this shooting board include a hardwood stop here. So when I'm shooting a board, I push in that direction, and this holds my board in place. To keep the shooting board from sliding along the workbench, I've put a cleat here at the back, and this is a common thing to do. One thing I want you to notice is that the cleat on my shooting board is at a 45-degree angle, and it's not at a 90-degree angle. This 45-degree angle is helpful on the back of my shooting board because I'm not always using my shooting board, and I want to sometimes get it up and out of the way. So then I can put it on my French cleat wall. A 45-degree angle is another common angle that we sometimes need to correct, especially in mitered frames. And so I'm going to cut a 45-degree angle on this board, and then we're going to go over to the shooting board and improve that. My 45-degree angle looks pretty good along most of the length of the miter, except for here at the end. To fix the imperfection in our mitered frame here, we're going to fix this on our shooting board with this 45-degree angle that I've cut. I simply install this onto my shooting board. Here you can see that I've just drilled the holes in here, pilot holes, and I attach this and remove it. Maybe a better plan would have been to put in threaded inserts, and then I wouldn't wear out these holes over time. Here we simply take our workpiece, align it with the edge. One of the things that's difficult when you're shooting a 45-degree angle is that a lot of times you will get slip between your support and your workpiece. This is because when your plane hits your workpiece, it pulls it hard up at this angle. And so some of that force is directed along this angle, and this causes this to slide. So what we're going to try today is a solution that we've been thinking about. In case you didn't notice, that's leftover skateboard grip tape. Oh, that is so much better. That works much better than it did before with that smooth surface. You may not have a traditional workbench, and instead you might have an MFT table. But you can also make your shooting board so that it will work on your MFT table. So this cleat, as long as you don't make it too thick, it will slide up and bump against your MFT table, and then you can perform shooting on your Festool MFT table as well. Thanks for watching today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. We now have some cool merch for you to check out in the show description. Another way to show support is to consider a channel membership. At the $2.99 per month level, this is our entry-level membership, and at the $4.99 membership level, this provides you free access to the woodworking plans that we've created over time and many other perks. Thank you for listening to the Shameless Self-Promotion, and we'll see you in a future video real soon.